a bit spooky, isn't it? I mean, normally on a night like tonight, this mat would be packed with a load of jiu-jitsu heads, rolling and stuff like that. And over there, well, there'd be a kickboxing class where they'd be thumping and banging bags and pads and stuff like that. And across the balcony, you'd hear the whirling of spinning bikes. Downstairs, bumper plates and barbells be crashing off the floor. And the whole lot would be surrounded by a heavy metal or a dance track or something. But not tonight. If you're anything like us here in Ireland, you're in the midst of a COVID-19 lockdown. And as a result, gyms and fitness centres all across the world are like this, a ghost town. Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. This is Liam Griffin here, head coach in SPG Cork. Sorry we didn't have an episode last week. We were really busy, but we're back with a vengeance this week. And I think it's a pretty cool episode, so I want you to stay tuned to the end of this one. We have a competition of a few MMA rash guards I want to give away and details on how you can win at the end. I'm also going to introduce you to some characters. Now, do you know when you're watching a movie and you don't really know the characters that well, it's very hard to get invested in the story, isn't it? So, this channel is all about the story of how our fight team is striving to get to the very top. I'm going to introduce you to 3 new characters today, very briefly. It's not a life story. It won't take up too much of your time, but I do want you to vote on something at the end for me. So if you're ready to rock, let's go meet some people. Miss O'Hanlon.
What's happening, kid?
What's up? And this is Ailish the Goat O'Hanlon. I think this social distancing actually suits her personality. If you know Ailish, she's actually very introverted and doesn't like people. So for her to be cooped up and enjoying her own company is actually good for her. It's good for her mental health and happiness. So this actually suits her down to the ground.
Yeah, I'm a person that needs isolation during quarantine. Mentally and physically, I think it's good for me. Yeah.
And what about training wise? Are you able to get some training done? Are you able to get some cardio done and stuff?
Yeah, well, I'm lucky enough that I have a bag downstairs, so I can just do kind of rounds on the bag, do Tabata, and just kind of working on my angles and kind of jiu-jitsu videos and stuff, just kind of catch up, so it's all good. And
you've been keeping up with the kids online as well?
Yeah, it's been fun. That keeps me going too, though. It's fun.
So what kind of videos have you been doing?
We have been doing fun cardio, so just Tabata for kids, like the Joe Wicks workout. And then for the grown gorillas, we've just been doing jiu-jitsu. So this week was, we just did it knee on belly.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea. Are you typing?
Huh?
Are you typing?
No.
Okay. So as I said, we call Ailish the Goat. And there's a story behind this. When she was pretty early in her training here in SPG, she was a lot more introverted and very obviously lacked a lot of self-confidence. So after holding pads or after rolling or whatever, if it was me or one of the other guys, we'd kind of say, you know, well done on that, you know, that was good now, and try and build her up. And the nicer you were to her, the angrier she got. She was just, I don't know, she didn't want people, she was beating herself up. If I thought she did good on the pad, she didn't agree, she thought she did terrible. It was that like lack of self-belief. It was really getting to her, and she used to snap, she used to get angry and kind of storm off. And so I found this video of a goat talking to its handler, and this is her.
¿Qué está pasando con ¿Qué está pasando con él? ¿Qué pasa con el presidente del gobierno? ¿Qué pasa con los presidentes? ¿Y qué es lo que pasa con los alcaldes de la isla?
I'm not as bad as I used to be. I've gotten better. And after this lockdown, it definitely won't be as bad, but it's all good.
Right. So after the lockdown, so are you gonna? Is there stuff that you've learned about the benefit of isolation, the benefit of me time that you're going to carry forward, you reckon?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I was doing too much. I never had a break from training or eating. I was always going and going and going. And then there was a time I kind of got sick, so I never kind of got to get back up to where I should have been, especially strength and cardio wise. So now I think I'm kind of back on track again, so it's all good.
Jesus, pandemic's every day for you, so.
I wish.
Story.
What's up, Mr. O'Connor? You got cabin fever?
A little bit, yeah.
So this is Ryan Thunder O'Connor, and he's one of the senior fighters on the panel. He's had a bunch of MMA fights at this stage, and he comes from a boxing background also. He also teaches boxing classes here at SPG Cork. And if you're wondering why, no, you know. And what about training wise? Is there anything you could do training wise, or what have you been doing?
Getting a good bit done training wise, alright. But same thing again now, like just trying to just focus in and do it. Can be a bit of a task, but focus on an awful lot of things that I'd like to focus more on in everyday training, but we just don't have the time, you know, or the energy level, I suppose would be more accurate. But there like a lot of stability work and flexibility work, mobility, things like that. That we normally don't get time to do, but we should be doing more of. Obviously, missed the MMA terribly. I've no one to train with here. Like, my little sister, she's black and blue already, but can't really get out too much more. Like, getting a good bit of not really study done, but I've been looking over old fights and over all my old notes and stuff like that, and pulling a few good pointers out of that as well. So,
what are you gonna do when you're back? What's the goal when you're back?
Just fight. I miss being in there so much. It's crazy. Like, and I've had so many like close calls and pullouts and stuff. I just want to get back in there, you know.
That's the crack, Liam. How things?
So this is Brendan Russell, or the Excitable Boy as we know him. And he's from a part of Ireland called Kerry, where people are known for their wit and cunning and the ability to talk a pig into a ham sandwich.
Stuff done. I was doing a lot of circuits. I was running. There's surprisingly a lot of people out running, considering we're all in lockdown. I've never seen so many people going out for a run, but sure.
So Brendan is a little different to the rest of the crew in that he's actually working in a hospital right now. So he's part of that frontline efforts to fight back the coronavirus. So he may not get much extra training in, but it's good to touch base with him anyway and just let him know how much we appreciate his and his colleagues' efforts to keep us all safe. And what's the environment like in the hospital at the moment?
It's stressed. It's mixed. No one really knows what's actually happening. You know, everyone's a little unsure. So like everything that you normally would be doing your normal routine, you know, you've got to think 3 or 4 different things might be happening now with this as well, and you're always second guessing whether you're doing the right thing or not. But we've got a good team behind us. There's a lot of experienced, you know, doctors and nurses and, you know, other care assistants and stuff like that. So everyone's just kind of piggybacking off each other. We're just going to get through it, you know.
Well, on behalf of the rest of us anyway, thanks for all your efforts, and the rest of us are able to stay home and watch Netflix, and you guys are putting yourselves in danger, so appreciation.
There's much more people out there that are putting themselves a bit more in danger than I am, but, you know, look.
Training wise and stuff like that, what have you got a goal for the lockdown? I know we could go through the entire lockdown. Could be 2 weeks, could be 4 weeks, could be 3 months.
My goal is to be a 6'4", 400-pound pure muscle, you know, a mean, lean sex machine, you know, that sort of thing. No, I'm just trying to keep fit, you know. That now today, like I went out for a jog, planned on running 5K. There was so many people there. I was kind of weaving in and out. I decided, you know, I'll stop. I stepped to the side, and what it popped into my head was just go shadow boxing. So I did 3 rounds of shadow boxing. I looked like an absolute lunatic on the lock, but there was no one then left when I finished the shadow boxing. So it was
they all scattered. It must have been the speed.
You know?
It must have been the speed of your hands or something.
I don't know. Yeah, it might have been because I was bollock naked. I don't know.
So I hope you enjoyed meeting the 3 new characters of our story. And I have a poll for you. I did mention I wanted you to vote on something. Which of those 3 people has the most appropriate fight name? Up at the top right hand corner of your screen, there's a little eye, and if you click on that, there's a drop down, and vote for who you think has the most appropriate fight name. There's a couple of things that struck me when I was interviewing the guys. Particularly, they're doing okay. Do you know, there's a lot of doom and gloom and a lot of panic around the whole lockdown situation. But if you've got a good attitude towards it, then this time, this gift of time that the majority of us have, not all of us, I mean the likes of Brendan, who are probably now busier than ever, working in the hospital, and all of the emergency staff and everything, who are doing an amazing job, and we massively appreciate them and the continued efforts that they have. But the rest of us who are in isolation, we've got this unprecedented gift of spare time and a chance to reflect on everything. Where you are in your life, whether you are enjoying what you're doing currently with your life, things like your relationships and everything. There's just so many things that we've got time to reflect on now that normally the hustle and bustle of everyday life would just kind of gloss over it. So we've got a gift, and I want to find out, what are you going to do with your gift? So that's the competition. I did say we have a competition, right? So I've got these pretty cool MMA rash guards I want to give away. We're not sponsored by Blizzard, but I do know Cash, and I will buy these off of him and offer them up for this competition. So I've got 3 colours, kind of a red, a blue, and a black and grey. So if you want to win one of those rash guards, then this is what I want you to do. I want you to comment below and tell me what's your lockdown goal. Because you've got an unprecedented amount of time on your hands right now, particularly if you're watching this channel right now, and you've got this chance to do some amazing things. If you don't set a goal, it's all going to pass you by, and when this is over, you'll regret not having made something of it. So I want to know, what's your lockdown goal? Comment below, and I will be really, really interested to hear what your different goals are, because I might rob 1 or 2 of them for myself. I'm doing quite a lot with the time. I'm upskilling in YouTube. Hopefully you'll have noticed a little bit of an improvement in the sound quality. I'm trying to get this kind of room developed into a bit of a studio. So I know it's a bit of a boring background here at the moment, but that will improve next week. I've got a bit more gear arriving, sound gear and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing with my lockdown time. So as I say, I'm interested to hear what you're doing with yours. So comment below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next week.